Hello and welcome to Scenic Hills. Okay, I'm now going to turn my attention to the railway line that goes from the railway crossing underneath this industry here and the line that heads around to this tunnel here. I'm also going to focus on the line that goes from the set of points down here that heads off towards the port, which is over there, and I'm going to also carry on with the little track that's up the back here for a little bit. But that's not an easy thing to do, because in order to be able to do that I have to be able to access the track at the back, and I can't really well reach over everything to do that. And so what I'm going to do is remove this section of benchwork. It's just a little short piece, less than 1 metre wide, so that I can actually get in there. But that's easier said than done, because at the moment the wires that go to the the jacks for the slot car controllers, there's no plug in here as yet. 2 plugs here, but they're auxiliary ones. They're not actually in the main cables themselves, so I have to put a set of plugs into the main cables, and there's 12 wires here, so that will take me a little bit to do. So I'll come back to you after I've done that. Right, I've now got the plug installed into the main cables for the slot car control feeds. It didn't seem like it took that long, but 3 hours had passed by, so it took a lot longer than I expected. But now that that's done, I can now move on to the next phase of getting that track fastened down. Right, I'm now starting the next phase of putting this track down. The first thing I have to do is lift this off. And now I can see what I'm going to be doing. I have to lay out the track plan. Do a bit of working out, but this will probably take me a while, so I'll come back to you after I've done that. Well, I've now got the road bed for the main line glued down. It's probably taken the best part of, I suppose, 1.5 hours to glue it down, and I'm guessing maybe 1.5 to 2 hours of actually mapping it out as to where the curve is going to go. So now I'll let that dry overnight and glue the track down tomorrow. Okay, I've now got this section of track fastened down. I've fastened it down to this point here, because I have a feeling I've got this part of the curve too tight. So I'll finish cleaning the rail heads down, and then I'll run a train over it and see if the train will go around there. Well, that was not really a conclusive test. First time the train went round, the wheels on the tender came off. Second time, they didn't. So I'll have to do some running on that to see if that's going to be a consistent thing and whether I need to fix it, or whether that was just the one-off that the wheels came off. So we'll get back to that. But for now, I'll carry on. I've got to put the tyres back in where they're missing, and I've got to put feeder wires in. So I'll get back to you later. Looking back at the footage that we took of the engine going around this corner when the tender's wheel came off, the footage looks as if the wheel was off before it even got to this corner. I've had the engine going around quite a few times and it hasn't come off once. So I believe with the footage of the tender's wheel coming off, it was because the wheel was off before the train actually got to this corner. I see the problem. The pin that holds the tender to the engine is riding up on top of what it's meant to be sitting in. That's why the wheel lifted out. So from that, I would conclude that this corner, the radius is all right and it's not too tight. Right, I've now got that section of track laid down and finished. All the feeder wires are connected, the missing tyres have been replaced, the gaps in the rail have been cut. So now it's time to move on to the next phase, which is laying that section of track down there. The first thing I've got to do is make an adjustment in there. I've got to cut a gap out so that the track can actually go through there. So I'll do that. But to make it easier for me to do that, I shall disconnect everything. Disconnect that track at the back, disconnect the wires underneath, undo the bolts that hold the sections together, and then pull this section of bench rib out. Make it a lot easier. And there we have it. Section of bench moved for easy access at the back. Well, I've now got all the cork road bed on. And it doesn't seem like it, but 3 hours has now passed by. So tomorrow I will stick the track on. But for now, I've spotted something. I laid this track, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, and I've noticed I didn't even sand the edges of the cork road bed, so I'll have to do that. I'll do that, and then tomorrow I'll put the track on. Well, it's taking time. I've now got part of the track fastened down. I've actually got this section of the layout on the floor so I can get everything to line up. So I've got that bit done, and I've got that bit over there. Just have to attach the feeder wires to this section before I set this piece on top of it. Well, as you can see, that little section of track works. It just doesn't go anywhere yet. But that's in, wired up and going. I've now got, and I've tested this section up the back here, that's going too. I've just put this piece here in, and tomorrow, it's taken me just about all day to do what I've done today, and tomorrow I'll get this second track done and this track done, and then that's all the track and the section's done for now. Quality control has turned up. Okay, everything's now finished. All the track is laid. Feeder wires are connected to the track. And so we'll now run train number 1, which is the little wee 440, over this section of track for the first time, and we'll see if we've got everything going the way it should be. Nope. Right, we should try that again. I had 2 feeder wires around the wrong way. Success. Thanks for visiting Sonic Hills. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.